February 2021, prominent women's rights activist Lujain Al-Hathloul was released from prison after nearly 3 years. Her crime? She wanted women to be able to drive in Saudi Arabia. Before she was jailed, women could not drive. Her campaign helped fast-track the lifting of prohibitions on women drivers in Saudi Arabia, but the repression of women in other aspects of life continue. Women still need a male guardian's permission to marry, open a bank account, and live on their own. Lujain wanted women to be free of the male guardianship system. She used her social media to campaign for women's rights. Rights groups say she was detained for violating a vaguely worded cybercrime law. Her family also says she was accused of violating the kingdom's counter-terrorism law. Her sisters say Lujain was tortured and sexually assaulted behind bars. Although she's home, a travel ban has been imposed on her.
Lujain is not free. She's just been temporarily released, conditionally released. What we want now is that real justice, basically.
Lujain's case is not unique. In other countries, vague laws target activists in dissent. Research shows that women are at a special disadvantage. A similar bill is being proposed in Myanmar after a military takeover in February. Similar laws are in place in the Philippines, Hong Kong, Thailand, and Fiji.
Effectively, we have been COVID-free for quite some time in terms of community transmission, but that has not stopped the state from intervening online spaces and restricting the right of people to be able to express themselves on their own social media pages, on their own Facebook profiles, on their Twitter feeds, and people have also been arrested for expressing dissent against the state.
What are in these laws, and why are they dangerous to activists and women? Let's start with the law that put Lujain in jail. According to an official translation of Saudi Arabia's anti-cybercrime law, any person who produces, prepares, transmits, or stores material impinging on public order, religious values, public morals, and privacy through a computer could go to jail. In Fiji, the government created a law in 2018 said to protect women and children from online abuse, but critics say it's a Trojan horse for censorship. A person who posts an electronic communication with the intention to cause harm to an individual breaks the law. In Myanmar, according to a translation of a rights group, the proposed measure says internet providers must block or remove information that causes hate or disrupts unity, stabilization, and peace. Sounds familiar? The Philippines' contested Anti-Terrorism Act of 2020 has uncanny similar provisions. Under the new Philippine law, terrorism is committed by any person who engages in acts intended to cause death or serious bodily injury to someone else. Rappler CEO Maria Ressa's cyber libel conviction in June 2020 also comes from the Philippine Cybercrime Act of 2012, which was hotly contested back when it was first signed.
So they did not, come out of the blue, all these repressive measures. They have been there, but they have been particularly rendered more dangerous because of the pandemic. So they're willing to trade off freedom for security.
The effects of the laws and other repressive policies become especially chilling for women activists. According to a 2019 report by human rights organization Forum Asia, women activists are one of the most targeted groups for harassment and attacks. Of 688 cases they recorded from 2017 to 2018, 126 of those involved women human rights defenders. State actors perpetrated more than half of these violations.
I myself faced many forms of threat, harassment, and intimidations on social media, oftentimes using fake news, fake information to defame or humiliate me. The cyber campaign against me would include in the comments like rape her or kill her or I want to kill her, stuff like that. And there has not been any protections mechanisms available.
Women's rights advocates point out existing cultural norms make outspoken women or LGBTQ+ easy targets. They're threatening because they push ideas of traditional womanhood about being submissive and domesticated. Some forms of hate speech for women and opposition figures are sexual in nature. Vice President Leni Robredo has been the target of Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte's sexist remarks.
Ikaw, nung gabi, anong oras ka umuwi? Isang bahay ka lang ba? Dalawang bahay ka? Tatanong lang ako.
With the digital attack that's focusing on their sexuality rather than other characters and what they're saying is something that can effectively utilize to assassinate their characters. And basically it's divergent tactics to make people forget on what are the real issues.
As crackdowns on dissent continue to be a global trend, advocates highlight the need to consider the gender dimensions of human rights. If an activist is in trouble, it's worse if she's a woman.
女性の声が反映される社会を望みます。
Alors moi je m'appelle Marine et je suis activiste féministe. Et pour 2021, ce que je souhaite aux femmes et aux minorités de genre, c'est d'être enfin entendues.
Soy Frida Guerrera, defensora de mujeres, niñas y niños en México, cronista de feminicidios de todo el país. Para este 8 de marzo, lo que deseo para las mujeres es justicia, equidad y sobre todo que dejen de asesinarlos.